Hi, Chet.
Hello,
Cheers,
pal.
my friend.
Cheers.
This is Chet right here. It's my buddy from Church Street Brewing Company. And we're here because New Year's Eve is coming up this weekend. And whenever you think New Year's Eve, you know, the champagne, everyone brings a bottle of wine as a gift for your host, as you should always do. You should always bring a gift. But why does it always have to be champagne? Why does it always have to be wine? It doesn't. It doesn't, damn it. It doesn't. It could be beer, as it should be. And there's plenty of reasons for that, too, right?
Absolutely.
What kind of stuff do you have here? And,
well, we've got a lot of our lineup going from our old labels through some of the newer labels and some of the different styles. But one of the ones that I think we're actually drinking right now is the Pontificator.
Yes.
It's a perfect
New
beer.
one, right?
It's a seasonal. So this time of year when it's -9 degrees, it's the perfect beer to. Although unfortunately, there's not a lot of it. And we don't like to sell scarcity, but some of our seasonal beers come and go pretty quick. So if you like a good hearty, it's probably 8.5% alcohol. Try to find it. Go down to your local Benny's or beer cellar or something like that. Try to make sure you get something.
It's a Doppelbock, awesome. And if you like that good, the maltiness, the malt forward type of beers, this is what you're going to be looking for. You got some of the stuff that you've been brewing for a while. I know
we got the Hellas,
right?
I think. We got the Dunkel, which is a beer for this kind of season. We got the Holy Cow Milk Stout.
Holy cow! Now, first off, it's a fantastic milk stout, but we have someone here in the office who's a big fan of the milk stout. Aaron,
turn the camera on. You see how
around.
I don't know if I can.
Tell us about what you thought of the Holy Cow milk stout.
I don't know how to turn the camera around, but it's amazing. Okay.
Literally turn your hand.
It's amazing. I love it.
That was the Holy Cow milk stout right here. That was really, really good too. But what else is really cool about if you're bringing a beer instead of a wine or a champagne, you can choose the beer based on the alcohol level. If you know you're going somewhere and you're going to be sticking around a while, maybe that 8.5 Doppelbock is going to be fine.
Yeah, and especially now with the app-related driving services and things like that, we're pretty confident that people are making smart decisions about that. And again, you know, sometimes you go to a house, you bring a couple of bottles of champagne. Bottles of champagne, everybody likes a nice celebratory drink. But you know what? A couple of 6-packs of some nice local beer, pick up. It just makes a nice, easy night for decision making. You know.
Yes, it does. And before we let you go, I have to ask you too, because you've made some trips down to Washington D.C. and I don't want to make any type of political thing. We're talking about beer, but it matters because there's something.
We always talk about where beer fits in the community, and everybody was talking about the tax legislation thing that happened last week. But the Brewers Guild, we've actively kind of lobbied to Congress to get a break on our federal excise tax, and last week the Congress approved that tax legislation. So we're going to get a lot more money back to our breweries that we can invest in the community and kind of make another Main Street business kind of thrive a little bit with a little help from some of the kind of expenses that we face trying to.
So if craft beer happens to be important to you, the tax bill is a good thing because it is putting some money back in the brewers' pockets, which hopefully is going to be invested back into the brewery, which hopefully makes some more beer.
And pick up a couple of local 6-packs as opposed to just going for the same stuff you always buy. You know, you got a little extra money at this point in life. Come on, let's get some good beer.
If you're buying craft beer, right?
Yeah, why not?
Now, obviously, you're a big fan of everything that Church Street makes, as you should, because it's very good. But do you have some other breweries that you enjoy, some of the beers you've had up and down?
There's two.
You gonna name names?
No, I almost certainly will. Of course, our big brother in the neighborhood is our friends over at Two Brothers, and they've been great for all of us in the industry for the last 21 years. They've been out there making great beer. I'm a big fan of Pipeworks and our friends over there, and then the local guys. You know, Moore Brewing is a hot new brewery in Villa Park, and I would just suggest people look in their local town, or within a town or two, they're going to have a brewery they can stop in and enjoy themselves. So,
sorry about that interruption. Let's talk some more beer. We were talking about going out to your local brewery, and you mentioned a few more up in Villa Park. Just opened up, and they're doing some pretty cool stuff. But that's the really cool thing about craft beer is that, and I read a stat: 83% of drinkers 21 and over live within 10 miles of a brewery. That's insane. Yeah. So that means chances are there was one right down the road from you. And what better way to jack up your New Year's Eve party than bringing something that was not only made right down the street, but the money's going to stay in the community. It's all going to be reinvested, and you're going to taste some delicious stuff.
And we were on the quick little break we had. We were talking about biking and Imperial Oak, but they're right on that bike path that's real accessible. We're right by the Salt Creek. You can ride your bike over. We actually had a couple of fellas that.
Did you ride your bike here today, by any chance?
No, I don't quite have it in me, -9 degrees or whatnot. But yeah, that's part of the culture that we kind of try to be a part of and be in a greener world and being a little bit more conscious of our footprint, as
That's
it were.
right. So if you're going out to your New Year's Eve party, do the champagne thing at midnight. That's traditional. But if you're gonna bring
Old
a
Lang Syne, put that on the
Exactly.
turntable. Or the,
there's got to be a beer out there
Google
called Old
it.
Lang Syne,
You
right?
know
There's
what?
Marketing. Won't
we're on it.
pay me for that, will you? Bring a 6-pack for the host. They'll appreciate it. There's something something for everybody. That's for sure.
Yeah, and there are a lot more places to get it. And don't be intimidated. Ask the people over at Benny's or Whole Foods or Jewel's.
They want to. They want education.
They want to tell you about what's local, and you don't have to think, oh, I just got these people over. It's so much easier to pick up that. You know what? Arbitrarily pick up. Oh, you like the color. You like the town it's from.
Sure.
Pick it up.
I buy beer on labels all the time, which is why you guys just
Yeah, we
redesigned,
did.
right?
Yeah, we stepped it up. We got a couple of local artists helped us out. It was awesome. It really is kind of helping tell our story, which is part of the evolution of craft beer in the United States.
Obviously, get something right down the road from you. If you want to try something from Church Street, they're all over the place too. You're in
Yep.
Benny's, you're in
Yep.
bars, you're in
Yeah,
bottle
you
shops.
go down to Gillison's down in Aurora, our good friends down there, Dan and the team, and John and Gammon Coach House and some others. And we just, unfortunately, little props out to John from John's Buffet over in Winfield that just closed after 94 years of business. But he was in it, I think it was Two Brothers first account, and I think it was in the first couple of accounts for Church Street. So important
awesome.
place like that. But another generation to come over and we get some other spots to sell some beer. So
Have a good New Year, man.
thank you, brother.
Cheers.
All the best. Happy New Year.